Hello, anybody that wants to watch this video. I'm nearly finished putting the Reliance scimitar back on the road now. The engine's all back in. The plumbing's all done. The liquids are all in. The cover here is in. The new clean filters are in. I've filled it up. I've ran it for a short time. I've even messed around with the calibration a little bit to get it to idle a bit better. It was doing a bit of hunting, and I had the. It turns out I had the settings on the idle control valve all wrong. So I was on spark scatter idle control, which varies the spark timing to get the idle, but I've switched back to this now, so this is being adjusted all the time, opening and closing, letting more and less air in to get the idle exactly as you want it, which is working really well now. I've put the correct settings in. Yeah, the new leads are in. They're all a bit more neat now and tidied away in these conduits, go under the throttle body to the far side. So really that's done under there. The bonnet's ready to go on. Both calipers needed rebuilding, so that's been quite a mission, to be honest. So I've had this one off, that one's done now and bled, and I'm working on the second one. In fact, I've just finished the second one. So I've never stripped a rear caliper so much, to be honest, but I bought these new parts from Big Red, Worcester-based company. They're fantastic. They deliver in one day. I ordered it on Monday and it was here Tuesday morning. So I got new sliders, they were seized, new bolts, retaining bolts, new piston as well. Actually, you can just see the bright, maybe you can't actually, the bright metal's hidden down in there, the new piston. So that's all done. But yeah, as I say, I've never done this before because the rear caliper is always more complicated with the handbrake mechanism here, the normal cable operated handbrake mechanism. You've got to take the piston out, pull a circlip out, remove some parts, pull another circlip out, remove some more parts, and then this lever, which the cable operates like so, this lever mechanism will then slide out. This is the Sierra Cosworth caliper. And once you've done it, it's the same with every job. Once you've done it, you think, well, what was the fuss about? That was pretty easy, really. So I have loathed the idea of taking these apart. I've never done it before. I've done lots of front calipers, but it was fine. Just pulled it out, re-greased it, and I'm really glad I did, actually, because I've been able to do a better job welding this little hook on here and cleaned it all up, and both of them are operating really well now. I did have a bit of a problem on the other one. I'll just show you now. The slider was absolutely stuck in there and it actually snapped off when I came to remove it. So you can see here there's a fresh bit of metal on the end. I actually drilled through the end of this to hammer the slider out that way because the end of the slider had snapped off. So I drilled through, put a drift through, knocked it out, and then welded up the end, which is less than ideal, but I did it really rather quickly, so it ought to be fine. That was quite an ordeal, lasted a long time, but it's all done now, so that's bled. I'll put the next one on now and bleed it. Yeah, I've been trying to bleed the brakes. There's still air in the brakes. It's very annoying, but the issue is I've put calipers on the rear here at the wrong angle. These calipers were meant to be mounted on the top, I believe. It's hard to find, but the Sierra Cosworth 4x4 I believe has them at the top, so of course the bleed nipple's in the wrong place, so when you're bleeding it, the air is not coming out, it's staying in there. So I've got to take them off and bleed them at different angles, and I need help with it, really. So plus I've run out of brake fluid, so that's going to be a job for another few days' time when I've got some more brake fluid. But yeah, it's all coming together. The dashboard is all back in. Yeah, that's now just got the one ECU in it, not two. No lambda sensor, no LC1, that's all broken, so I've taken all that out, really, and I'm happy enough it's running okay. So yeah, all that wiring's tied away. I put a new little panel on here just to cover up all the old holes, so it's just a fan override. It still automatically comes on, and then there's the buzzer, the warning buzzer, which if you have a problem you can shut it off because it's very annoying. Yeah, all back in. New plate for the stereo as well, so that's out of the way. I've got to get another aluminium strip there, and then that's done. So it is ever so close. Now the issue I'm going to do in the next video is regarding the weight of the car. I've done a lot of calculations, and if anybody asks, I'll gladly go into it and do a whole video, but on the weight distribution of the car, the spring rates, the wheel rates, the angles and the leverage ratios to get the natural frequency of the car bouncing at the front and the back without damping. That's a mouthful. And from this you can calculate what spring rates you need. And now I've removed all this weight from the back of the car, basically 50 kilos over the back wheels. The natural frequency of the front and the back of the car has changed, so I've instead of gone with weaker springs on the back, which would be obviously the natural thing you do, I've actually gone slightly stronger at the front because the car never felt particularly firm. So we did have £500 springs on the front, and I've now bought £600 springs. Yeah, 550 was too weak, 575 would have been perfect, but they didn't have those, so 600 as it is. So they're slightly strong in the front, but still within tolerance. So I'm going to go into a little bit of detail on that in the next video. And really, it'll very soon be rolled out of the garage, I think, with a couple of jobs left to do. Our new aperture seals for the doors and the boot, and yeah, and then just a damn good clean and polish, really. And then we'll be on the road with some driving videos. If you watched this, the one person that might have tuned in, thank you very much. And yeah, look forward to the next video where we'll go into some spring stuff, coilovers and whatnot. Thanks for watching.